never flew U.S. Marshal before. Why is he all chained up?
So we can testify against the Moretti crime family.
Okay, hey, you're the boss. Clearly you've mistaken me for somebody who actually gets it.
Mayday, mayday. We've been compromised. The pilot's a hitman.
He's there to shoot you down.
What if Flight Risk wasn't the hero, but the villain all along? This recap is about to start a war in the comments. The film opens with a banker named Will hiding in a hotel. He is suddenly arrested by officers, at which point Officer Denny arrives. Will, who handled accounts for a mafia gangster, declares he is ready to assist the police and accepts a deal. He agrees to testify against the mafia in exchange for full protection and security. The next day, Denny and Will board a small, old private plane to travel back to London. Denny explains they had to arrange the plane quickly, and she calls her partner, who warns her that the mafia's lawyers must have sensed the move and to get Will back safely. Just as they are about to leave, the pilot arrives. He eyes Will and notices Denny's gun, but says nothing. As they take off, the plane shakes violently. The pilot asks Denny to put on headphones so they can talk, but Will, sitting behind them, is left out of the conversation. Denny notices the radio is off and suggests turning back, but the pilot dismisses her concern. Suddenly, a bird hits the plane, frightening Denny, but the pilot reassures her that it happens often. Just then, Will spots the pilot's ID and is shocked to see the face doesn't match the man flying the plane. He tries to warn Denny by throwing a button at her, but when she looks back, the pilot is staring at him, so Will just makes an excuse that he feels unwell. Denny also becomes suspicious when she notices blood on the pilot's clothes. She tests him by asking about their contact officer, and the pilot incorrectly mentions an officer named Paul, claiming Paul paid him well for the job. Denny confronts him, stating, "I didn't talk to any officer named Paul about this, because there isn't one." Realizing he's been caught, the pilot attacks. He and Denny fight fiercely until he punches her, knocking her unconscious. The pilot then turns to Will, fury in his eyes, and says, "Will, you shouldn't have betrayed the gangsters." Will, terrified, offers him $1 million, revealing that he used to steal small amounts from the gangsters. The pilot considers it, but states he would still have to kill Denny to leave no evidence. Just then, Denny regains consciousness and electrocutes the pilot with a shocker, knocking him out. The plane is now nosediving, but Denny manages to regain control and put on autopilot. Denny and Will tie up the unconscious pilot. While searching him, they find mafia arrest papers, photos of themselves, and, to Will's horror, his mother's address. They discover the GPS and radio are broken. After fixing the radio, they briefly make contact before the signal dies. Denny then uses a satellite phone to call her partner, explaining that their pilot was a mafia assassin whom they have now subdued. The pilot wakes up and mocks them, refusing to help fly the plane. Denny's partner connects them with a captain who begins giving them remote flight instructions. As they fly, the pilot taunts Will, threatening to kill his mother. This enrages Will and makes Denny realize there must be a leak in her department that Denny's partner calls back with grim news. The real pilot was found murdered, his body horrifically mutilated. Denny realizes their captive pilot is responsible. She learns that the only other people who knew about the mission were her partner and their boss, Jack. After a close call with a cliff, the jolt allows the pilot to secretly grab a hidden knife. The pilot then begins to taunt Denny, revealing he knows about her past failure, where a witness she was protecting was burned alive by the mafia. Enraged, Denny attacks the pilot, who uses the distraction to begin cutting his ropes. Denny, now unnerved, becomes suspicious of her own team. She calls headquarters to speak to CK, but is told he is on vacation in Hawaii. Soon after, Jack calls Denny. Mistakenly trusting him, Denny accuses her partner of being the leak. As they talk, Denny spots a shore and a ship, and they can pinpoint their location. Denny then has a sudden realization and asks Will about his file, which mentioned mafia transactions being sent to Hawaii. Will confirms he had to send a weekly salary to an officer who supported the mafia. Denny understands. Jack is the mole. She frantically calls her partner to apologize and warn her, but it's too late. She has already told Jack about her suspicions at that moment. The pilot breaks free, stabs Will, and grabs Denny's gun. As he tortures Denny, Will fights back and stabs the pilot. Denny then shoots the pilot with a flare gun and stabs him again, knocking him out cold. She rushes to Will, who is badly injured and terrified for his mother. Denny handcuffs the pilot again and tells the captain about Will's injury. The captain directs her to a nearby runway for a dangerous landing. Will confesses he stole $10 million from the mafia, which is why he ran. Jack calls again, lying that Denny's partner was the traitor and has been killed in an accident. Denny, knowing the truth, confronts Jack. "I know you're the traitor. I found out everything about your base in Hawaii." Jack hangs up and he attempts the landing. The pilot breaks free from his handcuffs one last time and attacks her. Denny shoots him, severely wounding him. She manages to land the plane, but it crash lands, breaking the tires and throwing the pilot out of a broken door. An ambulance arriving at the scene runs over the pilot, killing him instantly. Rescuers surround the plane, but Denny sees that Will is unconscious. As he is being loaded into an ambulance, Denny spots a strange man in an officer's uniform enter the ambulance and attack Will. She runs over, shoots the assassin, and saves Will's life. The dead assassin's phone rings. It's Jack. Denny answers. Jack asks, "Is Will dead or not?" Denny replies, "He's not dead. I saved him, but this time you're going to die. I won't spare you." She hangs up as the film ends with the officers celebrating their survival. Thanks to Denny's bravery that it's possible. Throughout Flight Risk, Will appears to be a desperate victim running from the mafia, but his actions tell a different story. He admits to stealing millions, manipulates both sides to stay alive, and hides key truths until the very end. Even Denny's mission falls apart because of his lies. When you look closer, the chaos, betrayals, and deaths all trace back to Will's choices. Maybe he wasn't the victim after all. Maybe he was the real danger in the sky. Got a better theory? Drop it in the comments. The best take it to shout out in our next video.